Welcome back, listeners, to a mysterious mystery podcast today. Something a bit different, I've decided to do. It's Adrian here, by the way. And I've had this podcast on the back burner for a few months. I was a bit scared to do it, but I think it's time to unleash the beast. I think it's time. But before we go any further, shame on you, James.
Hey?
Hello? And shame on you, Keith, and shame on you, Dylan, and shame on me. Because we haven't spoken about this game ever, I don't think ever. Yet the game we're going to talk about today is one of the most highly respected, highly rated games of all time. But let's at least give James a chance to answer that.
Go on.
How are you feeling?
One of the least or most? Did you say
highly praised games?
What? And we haven't given it the attention.
Never.
I know what you're talking about.
How do you know?
Because it's obvious.
Okay.
It's obvious what he's talking about. Shall I say it?
Just say it.
Super Mario World. Oh, it's not obvious.
Incorrect.
No, I feel
Keith, how are you doing, sir? Thank you for joining me
good,
today.
hello.
Even though I said shame on you.
You shamed me. Shamed
If anything, shame on me. It's taken me a long time.
One of the
Hang
most
on, one of Adrian's favourite games.
We've never mentioned
never
it.
mentioned it.
Highly rated.
Highly rated.
What? And we know that you love it.
Mm-mm.
Oh, do you love it?
I've played it recently.
Oh,
Only played it recently?
Yeah.
It's a highly rated game.
Well, let's just say it's got 9.5 on Metacritic.
95, is it?
Or 95, yeah.
Each.
97% like it on Google. Like Google liked. But anyway,
platform's it on?
let's come back to the game in a minute and
Okay.
I'll chuck that mystery out there. I find it very interesting that some games, when they're released, are absolutely loved by critics.
Yep.
They get unbelievable attention. Yet gamers playing, I don't like it very much. It's not really what I expected. And yet you also get the opposite. You get games that the critics hated but fans love. So we're going to talk about one of those particular games today. It's a bit of a Marmite game, I would say, in many ways. Okay. But can you name any games that might meet that criteria? Games you loved or hated and critics loved or hated, vice versa?
I had to rack my brain for this because I'm obviously a bit of a sheep and I go along with the consensus. But, like, for example, I really enjoy Resident Evil 5, but a lot of Resident Evil fans don't like it.
No. Too bad.
But I think I think it did it with you quite well. I don't know without checking, but that is one where the fan base is obviously very split.
Yes,
some people think it's great, some people really hated it. It's not Resident Evil, so
fair enough.
That's one that popped to mind for me. Obviously, it's a slightly more recent.
My critic hate love game is obvious. So it's obvious, isn't it?
Rise of the Rovers.
Rise of the Rovers.
Yeah.
I don't even talk about
That's
that.
basically
that's a good example.
I'll just recap for people who haven't been subjected to this. When I had my A1200, it did great things graphically.
Yeah.
But when it did Rise of the Robots, my God, what is this machine even capable of?
Yeah.
You had to, like, it was annoying switching those floppy disks. It's a bit like if anyone's played Street Fighter on the Amiga, same thing, same problem. Didn't have a hard disk, obviously, back in those days. Couldn't afford one. And it just blew my mind. And I think that's kind of stuck with me. I'll never actually go back to playing that version of the game. I've got other versions of it just for research purposes, but I don't think I'll ever go back to it because I don't want those memories
tarnished.
shattered.
Yeah.
But
interesting.
and it's got things about it that I like. So yeah, that's one.
Jimbo?
Yep.
Do you have any games that you love? Well, critics weren't really fans of.
This is going to be one of them is a continuation from Keith's one. I didn't actually dislike 6, Resident Evil 6.
Now boring.
Now, no, but I when I was playing it, I think I got it. I think I got it about
so dull
6 months, a year after release. Yeah, and I don't know whether it was I had like rose tinted spectacles on because I'd played, I'd got back into Resident Evil after all that time, and it had just been a natural kind of move into number 6. But I don't dislike it anywhere near as much as generally people say.
I would agree. It's I think they tried to do too much.
It can be heavy in places in terms of
I enjoyed Leon's campaign, and I enjoyed Chris's campaign.
Yep.
I found the others to be a bit boring, but I almost think it's a bit bloated.
I found the Leon's campaign boring.
Did you? I quite liked it because it was the one that had the most kind of zombies in the city.
Yeah, but then it was just too repetitive.
Then it went mental.
Well, they all did, because I like the more suspensey kind of element.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah. I know.
It might have been file it under good idea at the time, sort of thing. But I don't remember it being something because I get that kind of conflict quite a lot because I hear people bashing Resident Evil 6 constantly. It's like, we don't talk about that one.
No, in terms of like a really intense action game, it works really well. But yeah, I think it's an easy whipping boy, isn't it, for the Resident Evil fandom?
I'll whip it till I'm dead.
Yeah, it was a massive seller, wasn't it? But then and then after they kind of reset things with Resident Evil 7. So
yeah.
It's not anywhere in my list of favourites, but I don't think it's as bad as the hate it gets.
No, and I anytime I feel like saying that, there's going to be people going, what are you on? Like, well, how dare you have an opinion on other than the fact that it's rubbish?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose I could probably be poked for saying that there's a few spin-offs and sequels and stuff that I like as well that never did that well. That started with maybe some of the Simpsons games and stuff like that. But hey,
we've got a thick skin.
Yeah.
I've got here actually a list. Now, apologies about the person who wrote this list. I stole it off an article. I didn't credit it. I'm a bad boy.
Ooh.
But these are 10 games that are either hated by critics or loved by fans. I'm going to spend very little time on this. You might say that's not true. But I've got Deadly Premonition, which was released in 2010, loved by fans, hated by critics. There you go. Mass Effect 3 2012, hated by fans, apparently.
Okay.
And vice versa. Devil May Cry in 2013 was loved by fans, but critics hated it.
Was that the remake?
I think so.
No, it was not.
Well, 2013 one.
The 2013 one is the one with the young guy with who doesn't look like Dante.
Is it that one over there, Aid? Is it that one on Keith? Is it that one there on the top? I bought it ages ago.
Yes.
Is that one?
So apparently, loved by fans, but critics weren't that enamoured.
It's this one.
Okay, well, I'll try that and let you know.
Street Fighter 5, apparently, fans didn't like it initially.
Don't like it.
Fans didn't like it initially because there were huge chunks of the game missing.
Right.
Oh
my God! I've never seen Keith angry before.
When I was deciding what console to buy, one of the deciding factors was that Street Fighter 5 was going to be a PlayStation exclusive. Mm-hmm. So I went, PS4, and then it came out. There wasn't even an arcade mode in it when you bought it.
What?
There wasn't. It was just online multiplayer.
Yeah.
Just online. Oh yeah.
They're having a laugh.
So, I think as time went on, it got added to and people liked it. Yeah, there was a lot of hate towards that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like it.
We've got here Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, loved by fans. I think critics thought it was much of the same, but I might be wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Star Wars Battlefront 2, hated by players, loads of microtransactions.
Yep. Big chunks of the game missing.
But critics apparently loved it.
They love paying for that because they don't have to pay. They probably got it for free.
Dark Souls 2, hated by players. Death Stranding,
too damn hard.
Hated by players initially.
Initially, I think it found an audience, didn't it? Death Stranding.
That's had such a strange journey, isn't it?
I don't even touch that game.
I've got here The Last of Us Part 2, hated by players, but that's not correct, is it?
I'm not liking it so far.
Oh, okay, it is hated by players.
Oh, we have to talk about that, but obviously not today.
No,
I'm trying to push my way through the treacle that is The Last of Us Part 2. Yeah, man. Too heavy.
It's like driving through a fruitcake.
It's heavy. It's heavy.
It's way too heavy.
It is heavy, but that's that's The Last of Us.
I know it's a stupid question. Presumably you played the first one.
Yeah, I love the first one.
Right. I've never played either because I don't have a PlayStation.
The reason it's the people are split. A lot of people hate what they did with the story, which we won't talk about now.
Yes.
But I think it's I loved it, but
maybe
without enjoying all the story choices.
Can you follow? Maybe people say you can't follow the first one any better.
No,
perhaps?
there was a lot of butthurt people who didn't like the way that they treated some of the characters, but get over it.
It wasn't
fair enough.
It's just I think it's too heavy.
But the first one was. The first one was. Yeah. You don't remember the beginning?
Oh, the beginning.
The bit with Henry.
I'm not going to tell. Yeah, but those are 3 flashpoints. This is like my first couple of hours of playing The Last of Us Part 2. I'm like, this is too much. I've only just started playing the game. You've just explained the whole game's worth of stuff, which is fine. I'm just like, no, I'm
not today.
I'm not having a whole game's worth of heaviness in the first 2 hours, but I will get through it. I'm playing on baby mode. I will finish it. And we'll have our.
We'll do it.
Don't ever let it be said that we're good at video games.
We are terrible at video games.
Should I carry on?
Yes,
please.
Also, Pokemon Sword and Shield, which my son Tate has and actually quite likes it, but a lot of people didn't like it.
Nicky liked it.
Fans don't like or critics like?
No, critics liked it, but a lot of fans didn't like it. Again, I think
Pokemon,
it's a Pokemon game.
It's just Pokemon, isn't it?
But yeah.
Right.
Catch a Pokemon.
It's just Pokemon, isn't it?
As I said, the game we're going to talk about today has got unbelievable ratings from fans.
Come on.
9.5 95 Metacritic, over 2,000 ratings, 1,000 reviews, 97% like on Google. Yet, the critics hated it. Do you want to hear this quick little summary from IGN?
Go for it.
They said, the game has some of the clunkiest controls we've seen. The presentation is insultingly stupid. The mini games are hardly games at all. And on top of everything, it's really short. That was IGN's thing.
What is it?
But people love it. And I've got here another review, and this is, you ready for this? This might give you an idea, maybe the tone we're going today. This is a review from Google from Thaddeus Fatsy. And he says, beats Ocarina of Time by a mile. The game has a story that can rival Superman 64 on the Nintendo Wii U, as well as with better graphics than Uncharted 4. Hard to believe the DS had this amazing game with it, as it is better than literally every game right now. GTA 5 and Mario Galaxy series have some fierce competition. The stealth in this game is also better than Metal Gear Solid. Case closed.
What?
On the DS.
The DS.
We are going to talk about a DS game today.
I think you've thrown everybody, including the. But there's going to be some listeners that are going to be shouting at the.
I've got one more review before I can. I'll do one more little review
thing.
Then I'll reveal it. Okay,
Oh, that's a good shout.
It is not brain training.
There's stealth in brain training.
Am I allowed to have a guess? Or not?
No,
Let me read
Let
this.
him read the
All right,
review.
go.
Yeah.
Go on.
From Termus Derv, he says, game is a grotesque label for something that really transcends not only its own genre, but the media on a whole. Every corner and crevice of this masterfully pieced together project exudes a level of quality and professionalism that really dwarfs anything that the industry is releasing. My fedora is tipped admirably in the direction of Disney Interactive Studios for really changing my perspective on the medium.
I mean,
Disney.
okay.
It's a Disney game.
I was going to say Professor Layton, but because that is a
That's a huge
massively loved
series.
game. But
DS.
okay, I'm out
Disney game.
of guesses.
I've got it in my bag.
Come on.
Come on,
then.
show us.
Get it out.
Oh, I'm ready.
Whip it out.
And also whip out the game.
Take the game out.
Have you heard about this?
What's this?
Cory in the
house. Are you kidding me? Stealth.
Let me see. Come on, let me see.
Oh, Cory in the house.
Should I do the back of the box or are you going to do it?
Well, Keith, do back of the box, please.
Cory in the house. Stop the evil toy maker from taking over Washington, D.C. Use gadgets such as an oil slick pen and memory loss spray. Navigate Buzzy the Spy Fly to access restricted areas. Rock out with the DC 3 band and play some jamming tunes. Basic reading ability is needed to fully enjoy this game.
This game is obviously based on a TV series,
Cory in the house.
Cory in the House. And it's unbelievable. It's got a cult following.
Oh, okay.
Unbelievable
Look at the
cult
pictures
following.
again. I didn't really
And
look
we
at
can
the
go in a bit more
screenshot.
detail in a minute. But what is Cory in the House, the TV show? Anyone watched it?
Nope.
Not
I'm
a
guessing
clue.
it's about
I'm
a guy
guessing
called
this is
Cory.
Cory.
I'm guessing
That's
it's
the cover.
It's a
He
house that
looks
contains
happy.
a guy called Cory.
Well, Cory in the House is...
Oh, hang on. This is the White House in the background.
Yes.
Cory in the White House?
He basically
Cory's
does...
the president.
No. His dad is the main chef for the president. So he lives in the White House.
Okay.
So Cory in the House is an American television sitcom which aired on Disney Channel from January 12, 2007 to September 12, 2008. And it was a spin-off from the Disney show That's So Raven. The show focuses on Cory Baxter, who moves from San Francisco, California to Washington, D.C. with his father. After Victor Baxter gets a new job as the White House executive chef. The series marks a Disney first, as it is the channel's first ever spin-off show.
Okay.
I've never seen it.
I haven't.
When I was researching this show, this game, I did look a little bit of it, and the jokes are absolutely terrible. Cory Baxter, sometimes known as Sea Bear, that's his nickname.
Sea Bear.
He usually looks to his father for advice. Cory occasionally cooks up various get-rich-quick schemes. He's a bit of a scam.
Oh, what a scam.
All which end badly. He plays in the band DC3. He's got a band. And you can play in the band in the game. Founded by Newt, Cory, and Mina as the drummer. His catchphrases in the series are, "Come in, Daddy," and "You know how I do," and "Dang," and "Daddy no."
Daddy, no.
Victor Baxter, the chef of the president, the father of Cory, he often always says, I'll go pack, as in when Cory makes a mistake, because he goes, I'll go pack, as he's about to get sacked. Or when Cory gets in trouble, and another of his catchphrases is, here comes the pain.
Here comes the pain.
Oh, man.
There's all the catchphrases there.
Apparently, The Rock and Jules Takai, sorry, they've guest appeared in this series.
Sulu.
They've been in this Cory in the House, the show. There's only 34 episodes ever made, 2 series, and they actually have made a game on the DS. Cool. Yeah.
So, this has a Metacritic of 95.
Yes.
Cory in the House on the DS.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not often speechless, and I can't help
I'm actually speechless.
I can't help but think on the journey on the way over, I've banged my head really
Do you want a bit
badly.
more history about the game, what's it about, and maybe why it has become so crazy? The game was made by Handheld Games for the Nintendo DS. They've also made respected games called Green Eggs and Ham, Nancy Drew, and Power Ranger titles. Shovelware, basically. Apparently, fans of the hit Disney Channel show Cory in the House can now bring Cory's wacky adventures everywhere they go with the new video game for the DS. Enter Cory's whirlwind world of adventures in the White House when his contest-winning presidential bobbleheads get into the hands of the evil toy maker. Join Cory and his friends on a mission to outsmart the evil toy maker with cool gadgets, stealth maneuvers, and quick thinking to save the capital. You mentioned some of those earlier, Keith, on the back of the box. Cory in the House is the only video game that takes kids and fans into the world of Cory Baxter, where they can play as Cory, Newt, and Mina, schmooze with the Washington DC big shots, and use entrepreneurial escapades and quick thinking to save the capital from the villainous toy maker. As the bobbleheads are distributed throughout the Capitol building and the rest of Washington, D.C., they begin to captivate people's minds with hypnotic technology that was built inside. Help Cory reclaim each of the toys before disaster strikes. There you go.
Mate, what?
It truthfully was panned by critics. It was forgotten about soon after it was released. It's absolutely terrible game. I've played it. For the last hour and a half yesterday, I actually played a good chunk of this, and I don't ever want to play it ever again.
So
Wow, great
which
review.
is what you would expect from a game like this.
Yes.
Based on the,
It's not a game I'd
Disney TV
usually
show.
play.
So why, Abe? Why the hell? Why has it become a cult classic?
Somebody
Come on.
slipped someone a brown paper envelope with some cash in it, have
It's absolutely incredible. I've got a little story later. I'll go into a bit more depth about how it's come about, but it has got a cult following. But I've heard this is a really good story, and I hope it's true. I read on Twitter that apparently after all these extra reviews, people went crazy on these reviews of this game, you know, like obviously parody reviews. It actually tricked Walmart. Apparently, because it got such good ratings, they ordered so many Cory in the
So
House
it's like,
copies.
you know, like games get review bombed now. Like The Last of Us 2 got review bombed, and it had a ridiculously low score. It's like a reverse.
It's a
review
reverse,
with, like,
and I think
fake
Walmart. And there's
positive
pictures,
reviews.
There's pictures of Walmart even today going, "Oh look, there's a Switch game, there's a PS5 game. Oh look, there's still one DS game, Cory in the House." They got such a backload. I've got actually because I've got a few more reviews because I think the reviews are so infamous.
Okay.
And I thought I'll give you a few to read
Oh, yeah,
out.
can I read one?
I've got one for Dylan as well.
So these
I
are the
think
spoof reviews.
the spoof. I'll do one. Then
Okay.
these are so crazy. Can I just give a little? Some of these reviews are a bit dark, a little bit rude.
Okay.
So just giving our sort of listeners a bit of a heads up.
So if there's any kids in the room, please
NSFW.
remove them.
Yeah. So
potentially.
Ocean Balanga. And I stole these reviews from either Metacritic or Google.
Okay.
This game is an amazing experience. Beautiful graphics and good character development really ties the story together. The amount of detail is breathtaking for a game on the DS. The controls are fluid and feel natural. The voice acting is phenomenal, and the stealth aspect could be compared to that of Metal Gear Solid. In fact, it outranks every single Hideo Kojima game with its unique mechanics and interesting character arcs. One could say this is the best game ever created. Cory in the House on the DS is not just a game, it's a way of living.
Amazing.
I think one of you's got one huge review.
I think that might
I
be.
don't know. Is
I
it?
think
Mate,
that, I've got a good
You've
4
got you've got
paragraphs.
3.
I've got 3.
Have you got, maybe we'll save James's massive one, but do you want to do one of yours?
Shall I
Go
do
on.
mine? So my first one is from Farhan Khan. Here we go. I don't know how, but this game moved me to tears. This game put Superman 64 to shame. Any Hideo Kojima game is nothing to this. Leonardo da Vinci gave up when he saw this masterpiece. The Mona Lisa smiled because of this game. Leonardo DiCaprio didn't sink or die in the Titanic because of this game. This game is my way of living, my way of expressing myself. The game itself was so good I had to wear 3 pairs of shades just to play the game because of the vibrant colours. It's a party every week, baby. Was very sentimental to me. It was like playing Superman 64 all over again. It is a masterpiece. It's like something rained down from the heavens. Shaq Fu is nothing.
It's true. It's true. Keith, would you like to do one of your reviews?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so this is by Cory is Love and Life.
I love these openers. They're so good.
My family has always hated me. I was very lonely and sad. Not until my very bisexual cousin threw this game at me that he found in a gas station toilet was I so hard. Felt bona fide and exhilarated by this masterpiece. I can talk for hours. As I today sadly finished the game, I hear a noise coming from my bed. Cory! He slowly walks up to me and grabs my ass. I let it happen. He strips me and slowly inserts Cory's love. My face shivers with emotion as his Cory rips through me.
We're back on the Patreon special again.
And blood falls on the floor. His big hand slaps my ass and makes a nice deep sound. He looks at me dead in the eye as he inserts it. Blood slowly drips from my anus.
Hey,
What is this?
As he takes out the love. He then pulls my balls as he tells me to say Cory is love. Cory is life.
Oh, dear.
And I do what he says to please him as much as possible. He then rubs my nipples and gropes me as much as possible, wishing he had more hands.
Mate, you had been stitched up here, boy.
He didn't hand these out randomly as well. It says Keith at the top.
Yeah, I know, I can see.
He wishes he had more hands. He finally finishes by roughly but bonerifically, I'm stealing that, throwing me across the room, sending me on my back sitting.
Oh,
He, these capital letters, penetrates me once more as my family walks in, then looks at them all saying, Cory is love, Cory is life. Then he throws his body out of the window, never to be seen again. After I sadly go to bed knowing Cory raped me, I pull from under a note saying, Cory is love, Cory is life.
there you go.
wow, I think we're all
Jesus
now mortified.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Some of these reviews are crazy, and they're not even the worst ones.
Did you want me to do one and then James?
It doesn't really
do
come
this big
across
one?
as a positive review.
Yeah, it's
More a harrowing life experience.
yeah.
another one.
Go on,
I mean-
Dylan.
What side of the bed have you got to get out of in the morning to think that writing that is a good idea? It's about a game on the DS. It's like, this isn't some 1970s banned horror film.
Here we go. well, this one is from someone called Juice Daddy.
Well, we know where this is going to go. They're probably along the same line.
Here we
Cory
go.
is love.
Here we go.
Cory's life.
Hopefully people haven't turned off that. This game isn't just the personification of a dream, but a wet dream of orgasmic proportions. The true pinnacle of the gaming industry. Embark on the excellent adventures of this complex, rich, and amazing world that teaches us that things aren't just black and white, except Cory and the house but beautiful, complex, and engaging. This is a philosophical journey that puts Buddha to shame. It can evoke so much emotion. You'll be confused for a woman PMSing. Oh, what? It is so balanced. It makes games like Ocarina of Time look like a blind hippo on ice skates compared to the game's balance. The visuals are very beautiful. Comparing it to any other game is like comparing Emma Watson to Sarah Jessica Parker. This game makes you think of the thousands and thousands of years of evolution. Thousands of years of evolution, guys, that were needed to create.
Read a book.
That were needed to create a game of this magnitude. The controls are very smooth, like smoother than a baby's butt. The game's soundtrack can be pitted against the finest classical masterpieces of the 18th century and KO them without any prep time. Its brilliant, compelling narrative makes you addicted to this game like meth. And Disney Interactive is the Walter White behind this. Playing this game will make your IQ rocket and will give you an outlook on life that will grant you complete superiority over all those around you. An absolutely flawless game that must be viewed with the utmost respect and understanding, as to not miss the beauty of it like the inferior critics who dare rate this game poorly.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they are the arrogant, backwards excuse of human beings who miss the grander scheme of this quintessential divinity. I recommend that you that not only you play it, but petition for this game to be required to be played in schools globally. So all do not miss out on this once in an eternity experience. 11 out of 10.
11 out of 10. James, what have you found out?
Just before I read read my title, but I've taken the liberty of having a quick look on Google. 4.9, okay, out of 5. And I've just literally scanned through a few. And can I say a couple of lines from a couple of these?
Go for it.
Somebody's put, I cried countless times playing this. ... The masterpiece. Somebody's put, the entire time I wept silently in awe at the power of what I was witnessing. And some of them, somebody's actually like almost written a sort of a story around it. As the cold wind drew the night further into eerie silence, nice. I could not help.
Oh, that's my one.
Was that the one?
That's my third one.
I could not help.
Read it. Go on.
Like, I could not help but feel distraught.
Read it. The whole one thing. Go on.
Read it. Number 3.
Let's have a look. So as the cold wind drew the night further into eerie silence, what an opener. I could not help but feel distraught, suffering from the recent passing of my beloved Auntie Berthel. I felt as if life was nothing but a cruel game of useless mortality. Every day and night seemed torturous as I reeled with pain and anguish from the lack of joy in my feeble life. I felt as if any success I had would only be snuffed by my inevitable death, and the realization of this had made life monotonous. I often thought to myself, I wish there was something that gave me purpose. You can see where this is going. Something that could bring meaning back into my life. And then I found it. Dragging my weak body through the local GameStop, I heard a voice call out to me, "Purchase me! Purchase me!" I saw Cory's captivating eyes calling out to me. His loving smile made me feel safe again. Don't forget, Cory is love. Cory is love.
Cory is love.
He was my saviour. The relationship I formed with the Cory in the House DS game cannot be described without causing me deep erotic pleasure.
Oh, no.
That is how sacred my bond to Cory has become. Cory saved me. Cory dragged me from a fit of sadness and caressed my bleeding soul back into celebration, all youth. Thank you, Cory. Thank you forever.
Thank you. What we might do, James, we'll save that big one right to the end. That could be a treat right at the end. Is that all right?
That's fine. I mean, I've just tested this theory out, and I'm thinking, hang on, you've gone onto some weird, like,
this
obscure forum. This is literally front page of Google. 4.9.
It's mad. FYI, you can complete the game someone speedrun the game in 59 minutes, 10 seconds. So fair play to them. They completed the game in that. I'll tell you more about the game later. This Reddit, I'll show you the post in a second, went absolutely crazy on Reddit apparently a few years ago. How does everyone else set up their Cory in the House display? A 27-year-old Reddit user from Massachusetts named Yannick that wrote on Reddit, more than 72,000 updates later, his shrine had proven to be the stuff of legends. And there's a picture, it's black and white sadly, but there's a picture of a shrine of a poster. And
he's got a Cory in the House shrine.
It's madness. Kotaku is, we know Kotaku, don't they? Website. Yeah. They investigated this a bit further. They wanted to know, why has Cory in the House become such a legendary, such cult game when really it was forgotten for many years. Just stealing a bit from their website here. This is Akio Sagawa, and he wrote something about here. Actually, this gentleman here, I think Akio actually helped make the game. My first introduction to it even being a thing is, I walked into a room and my kids were laughing hysterically at some YouTube videos. I was like, what are you doing? What are you watching? They're like, Dad, you got to check this out. I walked over and saw they were watching a Cory in the House playthrough, and I just shook my head. That game was responsible for my rent. They didn't believe that I worked on it. I had to go and dig out a copy from the garage. To this day, it's the thing my kids like to tell their friends about. So, Handheld Games, the company, was Sigawa's first job in the games industry. He describes the studio as a meat grinder, where projects were assigned on ridiculous deadlines. In total,
Action 52.
Exactly. In total, Cory in the House took 7 months to churn out, which was common for the company's DS games. I felt fortunate that I can look back on it and smile now, laughs Segawa. I remember being pretty stressed out at the time. And I've got another guy here that worked on the game called James Lutz. He says the game industry was the Wild West in the early 2000s. You were pretty much signed up for overtime to become a pretty normal part of your life. The whole game, not just the mini games, was reskinned from tech that we used on all of our other DS games to that point. The majority of the art was created from scratch, which helped hide some of the reuse, but not really. But by the time we were making Cory, the quality of the Nintendo DS games were improving at a pretty rapid rate. A couple of other studios were proving to be really creative with similar licensed content, so people were less interested in what we were doing. So it's a real low end budget title, and it's terrible. I have to say, it's like a top down sort of half 3D view.
But is it?
Oh well, it's got a crazy cult following. But you walk around and you've invented these bobbleheads. Apparently, you got to find them, and the mini games are not mini games. There's a game where you have to attach wires, and it literally tells you undo all the wires, like the red attach to red, and it tells you very clearly, well, attach the red to the green wire, yellow to the blue. It tells you what to do. It's absolutely crazy.
So it's not really a game. It's just like an instructional kind of...
And there's a code where you have to put in the right code to get in the door. It literally shows up the number, then it disappears, and you just got to type... If you've got a half-decent memory, slightly better than the goldfish, you can just do it.
It's a bit like brain training. But
it's a bit like brain training.
Much easier.
Why... Have you ever heard of... a lot of people, actually, Cory in the House, do say it's the best anime ever existed. You've heard that as well? Apparently...
What? I mean, do me a favour.
Some people real think kids. This is not anime.
This is the internet playing.
It's the internet. Isn't it? Some people, when they say what's the best anime ever made, a lot of people say it's Cory in the House. It's a joke. It's a joke.
The prank of all
perfect
pranks.
Animes don't exist, and they've got the Cory in the House picture. Oh man. And it started apparently with a YouTube video released in 2008, and it said, "What was your top?" It's called "Top 27 Anime Boobs," and the video basically had the first few seconds showing anime girls, with a remix version of Cory in the House theme tune, and apparently it just went crazy, mixed with the Mega Man theme song as well.
Nice.
I mean, some people were offended, but others thought it was hilarious. It started to spread across 4chan. Apparently, 4chan was really quite big. At the same time, during this kind of weird meme, Cory in the House was released as a video game, and it just went crazy. Reviews on Amazon, Metacritic.
They were spamming them. So
they were spamming them.
These guys all thought it would be hilarious to spam and basically show that what is the worth of an internet review, isn't it? That's why people have kind of they've developed like a hive mind. And just gone, right, we're going to spam everything and say this game is amazing and try and dupe as many people as possible. And you bought a copy, to be fair.
I bought a copy. I had to. It's absolutely, it's a terrible game. I wouldn't recommend playing it. It's absolutely incredible, the kind of legacy it's left. It is bizarre. It's kind of become its own
particular game. Yeah.
Well, it's probably led to, there's lots of companies now that delay review posting, don't they? They actually delay review posting after release, specifically because they've got people who jump on in groups and just bomb it, for one way or the other. Just because
this is like the opposite. They thought, well, let's not bomb the thing. Let's just make it sound like the best thing in the planet and do loads of operations.
I think that's hilarious, to be honest. And what a curveball you've drawn out there. I mean, we were all literally, we were all sitting there thinking, it's got to be Super Mario World. It's got to be this. It's got to be that.
No, it's
Cory in the House.
You know how I do.
You know how I do.
that was one of them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm making my catchphrase now.
I'll go pack.
Oh, now you know.
You know how I do.
Do you know what? In the game, there's you talk to certain people, it's got text, and this is the worst bit, they tell us the worst jokes ever, and then there's canned laughter. You've actually got canned laughter in the game, and oh no, don't, Cory, please.
Oh, Cory.
Shovelware, though, is less common now, isn't it? I don't know if you noticed that. I think it was huge around this early mid to late 2000s. Yeah. I mean, half the DS games you could buy back then are a load of rubbish, and this is the bottom of the bin, really.
Yeah.
Is that a good or bad thing that we've got less games, maybe in a way, less physical games? Maybe.
Well, good. It's a good thing if there's less shovelware and games that they're actually spending time trying to.
Yeah, there's no point releasing a game for the sake of releasing it. Yeah, exactly.
Quality over quantity.
Can you think of any other games or even movies that got a cult following, random following, like Cory in the House, for example?
Not quite like Cory in the House.
I'm so blinded by the literally just blindsided by this revelation.
Well, it's a bit like the movie The Room, isn't it? That's got a cult following.
Yes, definitely.
Even though everyone acknowledges that it's awful.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I've got one last review, and then maybe James can finish with the big one. If that's all right, just to finish off the episode.
It's not mammoth, but it's 4 paragraphs. Yeah. So.
Yeah. This one is it's called No More Mr. Nice Guy. I was wandering the streets on a cold December morning when I decided to enter my local game store. I browsed the Xbox section, but only saw FPSs, races, and action games. The only game we get fed these days. I was just about to leave the store when I remembered that I had a Nintendo collecting dust. So I went to browse the used DS game section. There wasn't any good titles there, but then I saw this game. Cory in the House was just in front of me. I was going to pass it up, but it was 99 cents. I took the game to the desk and paid for it. The cashier said with a smile, Cory in the House. Oh, you're going to love this. And I didn't doubt him at all. When I came home, I cleared the dust off my DS and sat it in. When I saw the Disney logo, I felt loved. I sat for a good 3 hours before I needed a break from the God's blessing. It was like an angel had delivered the baby Jesus to earth, except that it was a game inside a cover. The cutscenes were amazing. It even has a laugh track. The mini games were fun and the graphics amazing. This is a truly an instant classic, a Battletoads of our generation. Amazing writing, glorious graphics, and bar-raising gameplay. 10 out of 10.
I still can't get over the comment about the stealth being as good as Metal Gear Solid.
You can sneak. There's a button you can sneak. Good. I have to actually, before I let you go and finish up, James, the way you walk in this game is absolutely ridiculous. You're almost like walking like
you just come out the gym or something.
Yeah, or you need to change your trousers or something. It's bizarre. It's worth playing if you just got some weird curiosity, but it's not worth playing if you want to play a good game. That's for sure.
I mean, do you know the problem you've got now?
Yeah, what's that?
The issue you've got now is that people are going to want to go and play it purely because A, just to find out how bad it is, and B, so they can write a review and say how amazing it was.
I love how all these dodgy reviews have sort of tricked a little bit, at least Walmart a little bit, to overstock on it. There you go, you big corporations. The power of the people.
It's
not, a little bit like that.
It's not too dissimilar from when they rammed up the prices of was it GameSpot? GameStop, was it one of those? The guys that actually bought loads and loads of shares and drove the company value up through the roof, and everyone was like losing their minds, and all the traders lost loads of money, and they were
That's
like,
right, yeah. You're right, actually.
It was GameStop.
It was.
Yeah,
GameStop.
Was it GameStop? Yeah. And just it sounds something like that, doesn't it? But if people kind of get their act together, they can. I don't know. Well,
invest in Cory in the House shares. What can I say?
Cory in the House. Wow. All right, then I guess.
Should we go for it? I've had a very quick scan whilst you've been, and wow, this is probably the best / worst one yet.
Yeah. Good luck, James.
So this is from Average Asian 43. Okay. I don't know which forum you got this from. But no, we won't know. Every night before my kids head off to bed, I make sure to play them an episode of Cory in the House. They are both well into middle age now, and ask, Father, please let us leave. I want to see the outdoors so bad. But I hush them and cut deeper into their legs so that they don't have such silly demands again.
Yikes.
Their mother once tried to make an escape, but by golly, Cory was there at the door waiting for the harlot, snapping her neck in one incredible motion. He stood in a pool of her blood and announced, Cory is in the house. I cried for days at the sight. Cory had his way with me for a fortnight, then ascended to the heavens one night before I could say goodbye. I shouldn't be laughing at this.
It's terrible. It's hideous.
Distraught, I brought up all of the 49-cent Cory in the House DVDs at Walmart and rushed home. My favourite was the one where he spilled ink on the White House seal. I enjoyed the DVDs, yes, for a time. But slowly my longing for Cory grew, and my heart could not carry the burden of my longing. I had to become one with him. By any means necessary, I searched high and low, killing hundreds at the Disney studio set. But alas, someone finally told me, stop, you maniac. That show's been over for a decade now. Get out, please. No more. I went home with my head held low, but on the bus, I happened to be given a sign by the Baxter himself. A young Chinese boy was sneaking through the White House as Cory, and my face lit up. I took the boy's face and smashed it, wrapping it around the metal pole and spraying blood all over his elderly grandparents. What is this? I picked up the DS cartridge from the ground and took the bus driver into a chokehold. I told him, take me to GameStop. I got new plans for Uncle Sam. I killed him as I stepped off by stuffing his face into the money dispenser, sliding his eye in and out of his socket, with the automated money rejected light beeping loudly. I smashed my face through the DS display case and walked home. I rammed the cartridge in immediately and my mind went white. I felt millions of ejaculate releases at that second and my body shook violently. The pixelated Cory inquired. The pixelated Cory required, you want it normal or do you like it hard, baby?
You know how I do.
He already knew my preference from the days and nights. Toggle pack. He already knew my preference from the days and nights we spent in my living room. It was a party every week, to be sure. I had forgotten about my kids, and they were long dead now. So I lay in front of my DVD player, looping the episode where his sister Raven came to visit. I hated her so much. Spending all that time with Cory, being his own kin, it made my blood boil. I punched through the set and let the glow of my DS carry me away into sweet oblivion. I wished to die as one with Cory. I clutched the DS hard, kissed the screen one final time and lay down. As I type this, I know that Cory's descent to mortal form once more and say goodbye. I sit in waiting for that day. He's my man. I will wait forever.
Wow. There you go. That was a bit of a different.
So this meme about it being an anime,
I just can't.
has led to thousands of people bombarding Metacritic to bump the score up.
Yes.
Making it one of the highest user rated.
It's one of the highest rated games of all time.
On the site.
So it's, yes.
Power of the people.
Yeah.
Well, I'm seriously questioning humankind right now with some of those reviews.
Did you not hear about this before?
I'd never heard of it.
Okay.
Never heard of it. This was a complete surprise.
It rings a bell about because for the TV show. Yeah, it rings a bell. But the game, what the hell? I'm
that meme,
I'm staggered.
Apparently, just that meme. This is what Wikipedia is saying. It's saying, due to satirical reviews on Metacritic in relation to an internet meme mockingly describing the show as an anime.
Anime. So basically, they want to have Cory House remastered as an anime. That's what they're saying. Again, I don't want to get too dark, but the actor who played Cory, I don't think he's a particularly nice person. I think he's done a bit of illegal things. So he's done
illegal things.
I'm not going to go into too much depth, but we can joke about it because there you go.
Well, we can certainly joke about some of the reviews that said about him, but yeah.
Well, there you go.
What a strange set. I mean, great feature. I mean,
bit odd.
Amazing.
I might not title it Cory in the House at the start. I might just call it the most divisive game in the world, and then maybe we'll see what our listeners think of it. But there you go.
Kyle Massey is the guy who plays Cory.
Then there's a few. Do you want to? I don't know what. Yeah.
Born 1991, known as Massey.
Yeah.
He's an American actor from Atlanta, Georgia. It doesn't say about his misdeeds.
Okay. If I'm wrong, I apologise.
Interesting. Assault by Lil Twist. In March 2015, Lil Twist was arrested and charged with several crimes after he and 4 others assaulted Massey and his brother Christopher.
I'll take it back then.
2021 criminal charges.
All right. Here
we go. On June 29, 2021, Massey was charged in King County, Washington on 1 count of immoral communication with a minor, where he allegedly sent lewd photos to a 13-year-old girl.
Oh, Jesus.
Eesh.
The criminal charge came after a 2019 lawsuit, whose allegations Massey denies.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's quite a dark turn.
That was
quite a dark podcast in some ways.
Well, I'm not being funny though. These things are out there. Do you know what I mean? So it's up to us to kind of talk about them, really, isn't it? I mean, warts and all. So
Warts and all.
I think it's very interesting. Yes, there's some horrendously sort
I'm
of
surprised
isolated people.
those
out there.
reviews didn't mention warts, but you know.
No, far worse though. I was trying to be nice, but yeah, I mean, clearly there's some individuals that need some help out there. And the guy obviously isn't a very savoury character. But hey, you know, that just shows when people want to kind of get up and do something that
Let us know if there's any other games that have a similar kind of legacy.
don't have such a dark twist to them.
Yeah. Would I recommend the game? No. The TV show, I've not really seen it, but probably not.
Would you play it again? No.
No.
Would I play it? Would I play it off the back of what you've said?
No.
No. It's a resounding no.
Well, guys, a bit of a weird, different podcast there. But I hope you enjoyed it. Something a bit funny, something a bit weird. But there you go. That's us in a nutshell. So see you next time.
Daddy, no. Thanks for listening to today's podcast. We really hope you enjoyed it. You can tweet us at Arcade Attack UK. We're also on Facebook at facebook.com/arcadeattackuk. Check out our website at arcadeattack.co.uk for lots more retro gaming goodness and to delve into our archives. Our podcasts are also available on Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, YouTube and Apple Podcasts. Please leave us a review and a rating, we'd really appreciate it. If you'd like to support Arcade Attack, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/arcadeattack, which will give you access to exclusive podcasts, interviews and other bonus content. So, until next time, take care and we'll speak to you soon.